Yes, crazy, mad, hurry, why my driver. That's food delivery, in case you were curious. Hey guys, SnarkyGuy here, live on the streets of Shanghai, and today we're on the hunt for video games. Now, true enough, video games are surprisingly easy to come by in China, despite what you may have heard. In fact, you can buy them at most retailers here in Shanghai now, even the newer titles, or you can easily find them online. I'm actually part of several WeChat groups that have video games readily and easily available. But all the same, it usually takes a few days for someone to ship it quite to your home. That means where they, ship it. It's a local term. You kind of adapt like anything else. But in this case, I want to actually go down to retailer to see what they have, because they may have something they may not have secondhand in a WeChat group. I just kind of want to get out of the house, cabin fever and all. Bunny is still in Hong Kong. Look at this guy. He's going to kind of keep pushing his way around bikes until he gets through. It's kind of the way they drive here, It's not that they don't have common sense or manners. They just kind of want to win. There's a whole Chinese saying, if you're not first, you're last. And it kind of translates into most of the local thinking as far as walking, driving, and riding bikes. People are eager to push their way past someone else in order to get through. Oh, tight squeeze. Yes, we made it. Oh, phew. I was a little concerned there. Sometimes, you just gotta kind of keep that in mind, because you're not always going to be first. We have a saying in America, which, as I understand, there's several Chinese variants of this too, that you see people like this, they're in a hurry to their own funeral. Bunny was telling me there's a Cantonese phrase that says like they're in a hurry to get to the afterlife. And it's true. Some people will just kind of literally, they literally will risk their lives to save a couple of seconds, to beat a traffic light or to beat someone else out or jump in front of a car or whatever else because they think it's worth it. And I'm not sure if it's just kind of that, again, that local thinking about if you're not first, you're last, or if it's one of these things that they're just considered the risk, worth the reward, so to speak. So, like this lady, oh, she almost got creamed. Yes, good job. Well done. And look, I'm still behind her. She didn't save herself any time. So the weather in Shanghai is pretty good today. It's about 20 degrees centigrade. I'll put a translation for those of you who are still on the imperial system. Go metric, man. It makes a lot more sense. So I never understood. There was this big push to go metric when I was in school when I was a kid in America. And they claimed that we would go metric, any year. And then it never happened. I found out years later it secretly did happen. All of the government and the military actually uses the metric system, kilograms, kilometers, et cetera, But then most companies actually translate that into feet, pounds, and miles because a lot of people just aren't willing to go metric. There is also the other thing that in America it would cost like several $1 billion to convert all the signs and packaging and everything else, and so they're just happy just to leave it as it is, and that leaves America being that one red-headed step-style. I can't talk today. That leaves America being that one red-headed stepchild in the world that refuses to give up their measurement system. So, yeah, I've mostly transitioned to the metric system. Even my iPhone is set in, degrees centigrade as far as the weather and kilometers and whatever else. But I still sometimes need help. If somebody tells me, that they're like 180 centimeters tall. I had to kind of stop, pause, and think about that because I'm not as comfortable with it as had I been, you know, brought up speaking the measurement system that everybody else in the world uses. So, yeah. Oh, that is a lovely Porsche. I love that blue, which you can't see because I have the camera pointed at me, but yeah, I'll take my word for it. It's kind of like a deep canary blue, I guess you could call it that. In truth, I've never seen a blue canary, but yeah, there you go. One nice thing about traveling on the weekends by scooter is while there's a lot more people out, your scooters are actually going to be a lot faster than regular transportation. In that if you take a bus, the bus has to stop at literally every single bus stop. Or if you take a taxi, otherwise known as a Didi here in China, again, you have to contend with traffic the whole way. And so scooters tend to be one of the fastest and, surprisingly enough, most economical forms of transportation here in Shanghai. So yeah, I'm pretty thankful for that. Ooh. Notice everybody's actually wearing helmets now. They passed a helmet law in Shanghai, hence my looking like I just got shot out of a rocket here. Oh no! The police are actively giving tickets now for folks not wearing helmets. So if you are not wearing a helmet, you can anticipate getting pulled over by the police and giving the fine. Now the fine's not a lot. It's 30 RMB. Again, I'll put the US dollar translation down here. But all the same, it's kind of a headache to get pulled over and shamed a little bit for not wearing a helmet. Likewise, you're not allowed to ride two up on a scooter because they consider that to be some form of moto taxi, which they're trying to get rid of. Curiously enough, you are allowed to ride kids on your scooter up to like 12 years old or something like that. So if you ride with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever else, they'll usually pull you over and give you a ticket. It's not uncommon though, it's an intersection where the police are stationed. You see someone pulls over and the girl gets off the back and she runs through the intersection real quick. Bunny's done that a lot to, you know, kind of trick the police, so to speak. Newsflash, you're not really tricking them. They're well aware, but like anything else, you know, it's if you're not making big enough waves, they generally don't give you too hard a time. Ooh, 5 seconds ago. Hey, there's Mr. Popo. He's Mr. Popo. He's looking for traffic infractors. He wants to give you a fat 30 RMB fine. Just let you know, no, you can't be doing that, sir. If I was a little more clever, I'd come up with a rhyme, but no rhymes today. No rhymes, I mean it. Anybody want a peanut? Please write what movie that's from in the comments below. Ooh, hear those brakes. Somebody needs new brake pads. Wear their rotors down to a crisp. The other thing about traveling on the weekends is there's a lot more of the popo out on every intersection. Although curiously, there are different flavors of popo. Yes. The general rule of thumb, though, is I just don't try to guess who's an actual policeman and who's the traffic assistant. So I try to just obey the rules. Stop at red lights, yield for cars, pedestrians, and those little curious little two-seat cars that are supposed to be for the disabled, but they're really not. It's just people that are running a motorcycle taxi like they don't want people to be, but they're disabled, so if you have a passenger, it's okay.
You gotta love the hypocrisy.
Love the hypocrisy. But hey, it is what it is, You'll find in China there is the rule, and then as long as you don't make too many waves, you can pretty much do your own thing. That's why my driver was wiped out there. He rolled past the girl with the short skirt, kind of gave her a nice hard look and almost fell down in the process. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Got to keep your eyes on the road, man. True story. A little lady in her little blue uniform cleaning the street there. That's one thing I really like. I mean, they're real serious about keeping them streets clean here. You know? They got people all over the place with their little brooms and mops, and they're just cleaning. And so you rarely see a lot of junk in the streets in China. And I realize that there's going to be somebody that's going to say, well, I was in some, little hole in the wall in, upcountry China where it was just filthy. Okay. I get that. There's always the exception to the rule. Yeah, come on. Got to get through it. Thanks, lady. Appreciate that. But you know what? For the most part, China's a pretty clean place. You can always find the bad if you go looking for it. Ooh, I love that throaty sound on that car. Oh, DD driver letting someone off right in front of me. We're just gonna move around him there. All right, we are in, I was gonna say downtown Shanghai, but it's all downtown, baby. Shanghai is all downtown. I'm in Shujiahui, which is where we're going. So that is nice. So yeah, I hear you, buddy. You just go on through. Guy's got a couple of large boxes there. He's gonna try to push his way through, and that is cool. And I don't mean that in a rude way when I say they're pushing their way through. Again, it's culture. You can't really get on people for culture. And if you think about it, when's the last time you saw a giraffe apologizing to another giraffe for pushing through? Or, a whole flock of wildebeest, and one of them's like, oh, excuse me, coming through. Oh, sorry, did I bump you? My apologies. Your horn will buff right out. So, this whole concept of, people getting upset when somebody kind of pushes through is culture. It's mostly a Western thing. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't, poke you in the chops, as evident by my recent attack on the Shanghai Metro, but you really shouldn't get upset when people push by. It's culture. They don't mean anything by it. They're just thinking, well, yeah, I want to go there, so I'm going to go there. End of story, right? This guy wants through. Okay, come on. Go ahead, buddy. You want that extra 5 feet. I get it. No problem. All right. So what we're going to do is when we get up here to this next intersection, we're going to do a little U-E and make my way back to the buy now. This kind of sounds like an order. Buy now. You must buy. You must buy now. Kind of sounds like old Cold War propaganda, doesn't it? But that's actually the name of the shop. Buy now. Can I make my way through the traffic today? Okay, BMW flashing the lights at me. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Awesome. Appreciate you guys letting me across today without making me a snarky pancake. Being a snarky pancake would probably ruin my entire week, actually. The trick is to get as close as you can to the curb without going over. All right. So let's go in. Let's see what we can find, guys. Have any Xbox?
No, this building right
now. No Xbox. Why no Xbox?
Maybe Chinese people don't like.
Maybe Chinese people don't like?
And just like that, we've reached the end of the video, which means you now have the opportunity to smash, wham, slam, and wallop that subscribe button. Thus, never again missing another SnarkyGuy video. And not too hard now, a keyboard is a terrible thing to waste. Click the bell icon to get notified, of course. In the meantime, here's a few more SnarkyGuy videos because
I know you're gonna dig this.